You know what's funny about Valentine's Day? Everyone's so focused on finding the perfect person to celebrate with that, they completely miss the warning signs staring them right in the face. And if you've ever found yourself chasing someone who keeps you guessing, who pulls you close just to push you away, who makes you feel like you're always auditioning for a role you'll never quite land, then listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you comes straight from one of history's sharpest minds about human nature. Machiavelli understood something 500 years ago that most people still don't get today. Power in relationships isn't about who cares more, it's about who controls the uncertainty. And there's a specific behavior, a particular pattern that signals you're dealing with someone who's playing a game you can't win. Someone you should never, ever chase. Here's what they do. They give you inconsistency disguised as depth. One day they're texting you paragraphs about how much you mean to them, how different you are, how they've never felt this way before. The next day, radio silence. You're left wondering what you did wrong, replaying conversations in your head, checking your phone every 5 minutes like some kind of addict. And just when you're about to give up, just when you're ready to walk away and protect what's left of your dignity, they come back. They resurface with just enough warmth, just enough attention, just enough promise to pull you right back in. Machiavelli called this the art of strategic uncertainty. In The Prince, he wrote about how a ruler maintains power not through constant force, but through calculated unpredictability. Keep people off balance. Never let them feel secure enough to stop seeking your approval, but never push them so far away that they leave entirely. It's a manipulation tactic as old as time itself, and it works because it hijacks something fundamental in human psychology. Our need for closure, our desperate desire to solve the puzzle, to be the one who finally breaks through. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't about you not being enough. This isn't about you needing to try harder, be more interesting, more attractive, more available. This is about them needing you to be uncertain. Because the moment you feel secure, the moment you stop chasing, the moment you recognize your own worth and stop accepting breadcrumbs, they lose their power. And for people like this, losing power is worse than losing you. They'll never define the relationship clearly because ambiguity is their weapon. They'll never commit fully because commitment means accountability. They'll never give you the consistent love you deserve because consistency doesn't keep you hooked. It sets you free. And they don't want you free. They want you wanting. Machiavelli also understood that people respect strength more than they respect availability. He wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." Now, I'm not saying you should make people fear you in relationships, that's toxic in a different way. But what Machiavelli recognized is this fundamental truth. When you make yourself too available, when you chase too hard, when you accept inconsistency and call it complexity, you actually diminish your value in the eyes of the person you're pursuing. Not because you're worth less, but because they're operating from a framework where value is measured by scarcity and challenge. So here's the pattern you need to recognize, the behavior that should make you stop dead in your tracks and turn around. They respond to your pulling away but not to your showing up. Watch this carefully. When you're fully present, fully available, fully invested, they're lukewarm at best. But the moment you get busy with your own life, the moment you stop initiating, the moment you show any sign of moving on, suddenly they're interested again. Suddenly you're getting those late-night texts, those vulnerable confessions, those hints at a future together. This is what Machiavelli would call the pursuit of conquest without the responsibility of governance. They want the thrill of winning you over again and again, but they don't actually want the relationship that comes after the chase. They're addicted to the hunt, not to you. And if you let them, they'll keep you in the cycle forever, chasing, catching, being released, chasing again, until you wake up one day and realize you've wasted years on someone who was never actually running toward anything with you. Valentine's Day makes this pattern even more visible because it's a day that demands definition. It forces the question, what are we? And if you're with someone who does this, who keeps you in perpetual uncertainty, February 14th becomes a minefield. They'll either go overboard with grand gestures that mean nothing because they're not backed by consistent action, or they'll pull back entirely, suddenly deciding that Valentine's Day is too commercial or not their thing, or that you're moving too fast by expecting basic acknowledgement. Here's what you do instead: you stop chasing. Not as a strategy to get them back. That's just another form of the same game. You stop chasing because you finally understand what Machiavelli knew about power dynamics. Real power in relationships doesn't come from controlling others through uncertainty. It comes from knowing your worth so deeply that you refuse to participate in games that diminish it. You stop chasing because you recognize that love, real love, doesn't require you to be a detective, constantly analyzing mixed signals and trying to crack some code. Real love is clear, is consistent, it shows up. It doesn't make you feel crazy for wanting basic things like honesty and presence and follow-through. You stop chasing because you understand that someone who truly values you will never make you feel like you're in a constant audition. They won't breadcrumb you with just enough attention to keep you hoping. They won't disappear and reappear based on their mood or ego or need for validation. They'll be there plainly and simply because that's what people do when they care about someone. Machiavelli wrote that a wise prince learns to be both the lion and the fox, powerful enough to frighten wolves, cunning enough to recognize traps. In your love life, this means being strong enough to walk away from people who don't see your value, and wise enough to recognize the trap of intermittent reinforcement before you're completely caught in it. So this Valentine's Day, give yourself the greatest gift possible. The freedom that comes from refusing to chase people who treat your heart like a game. Because out there, somewhere, is someone who won't make you guess, won't keep you uncertain, won't need you to be less secure in order for them to feel more powerful. Someone who understands that real connection isn't about conquest. It's about mutual choice, every single day. And until that person shows up, you owe it to yourself to stand firm in your worth, to refuse the chase, to be both lion and fox in protecting your own heart. That's the truth Machiavelli would tell you. That's the truth that will set you free. Now, if this resonated with you, if you've been stuck in this pattern and you're ready to break free, I need you to do something right now. Hit that subscribe button, because every single week I'm breaking down the psychological patterns, the historical wisdom, and the hard truths that will help you build the kind of relationships you actually deserve. And drop a comment below telling me, have you ever chased someone who kept you guessing? What made you finally stop? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Let's build a community of people who choose clarity over chaos, who choose self-respect over the chase. I'll see you in the next one.